Number 56. First thing we need to do is add 3 to both sides. So tangent of theta divided by 4 is going to equal, I'm also going to split up this fraction, negative 9/3 plus root 3 over 3 plus 3. So really I have tangent of theta divided by 4 is equal to the negative 3 and plus 3 cancel. So root 3 over 3. Root 3 over 3 is really just 1 over root 3. Okay, so tangent of theta divided by 4 is equal to 1 over root 3. So if I think about my triangles, 30, 60, 90 triangles, 1 over root 3, it means there's an opposite side of 1 and an adjacent side of root 3. 1 is the small side, adjacent side root 3, hypotenuse is 2. And so this happens at 30-degree angles, or pi over 6. Happens in quadrant 1 at pi over 6, also happens in quadrant 3, which makes that 7 pi over 6, because then I have a negative 1 and a negative root 3. So negative divided by negative is positive. So normally from 0 to 2 pi, there are 2 solutions, pi over 6 and 7 pi over 6. Those are the 2 solutions from 0 to 2 pi for tangent theta equals 1 over root 3, or root 3 over 3. We have a tangent of theta divided by 4, which means that what we normally would see from 0 to 2 pi, we're only going to see a fourth of that. So normally, tangent graph, when we graph just a normal tangent parent graph, we go from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. Tangent has a period of pi. Well, now I have that pi divided by 1/4. So now it has a period of 4 pi. So it's going to be really stretched out. So from 0 to 2 pi, we're going to see much less, 4 times as much less as we would normally see. And I can go over a graph of what that looks like, but let's just work out the algebra for right now. You can Desmos that if you want. Go to Desmos, type in tangent theta from 0 to 2 pi. You can set up the radians on Desmos. You can also type in tangent theta divided by 4. Y equals tangent theta divided by 4, and look at how much that graph is stretched out. And we might do that here in a second. Let's go ahead and do that now. I'll pause it and get. Okay, so here's my Desmos graph. The red curve shows tangent of theta from 0 to 2 pi. So it shows 2 full cycles of tangent because it has a period length of pi. Starting at 0, going to pi over 2, from pi over 2 to 3 pi over 2, and from 3 pi over 2 to 2 pi. Then in blue, we see a fourth of that, right? So in red, you can kind of break this up into 4 curves. We have the increasing curve to the left. We have the curve in the middle increasing to pi and then increasing from pi to 3 pi over 2. And then we have the curve on the bottom right. So there's 4 kind of parts to the tangent curve on the original tangent theta. The blue graph is tangent theta divided by 4. So it takes 1/4 of the entire curve from 0 to 2 pi. So it took that first red curve in the top left and stretched it all the way out from 0 to 2 pi. So that's what's going on the graph. Which means that when we look at our equation, we're wanting to know where does tangent equal 1 divided by root 3. That decimal. If that would normally happen twice, like we said, pi over 6 and 7 pi over 6 on the normal graph. So pi over 6, let's see, where would that be? Let's see, it's pi over 8. So maybe it's like right here, just estimating. So normally on the curve, that's going to happen twice. On this new curve, that's only going to happen like 1 time. We're trying to figure out where that is. So I use my general solution. I say the inverse tangent of both sides. I cheat a little when I kind of just draw it around the whole thing. It's not good mathematical writing there, but I get over it. All right, inverse tangent theta over 4 is theta over 4. Inverse tangent 1 over root 3 is pi over 6 plus pi n. Okay, again, that general solution, even though we're making it smaller instead of larger, looking for fewer solutions. Instead of dividing by 4, like we've done in the past, we're going to multiply both sides by 4. And so I wind up with theta equals 4 pi over 6 plus 4 pi n. So if I let n equal anything besides 0, I'm going to be outside of the domain from 0 to 2 pi. So in this case, my answer is just going to be 4 pi over 6, or in simplified, 2 pi over 3.